Listen, let's get into this one because someone who's always understood the business landscape here in the UAE joins us now to share his insights. Pleased welcome to the show our guest co-host today, Sam Thomas, the editor-in-chief at Inc.Arabia. Good to see you as always. Thanks so much indeed for being with us. Listen, look, going back to sort of some comments you've just heard there in the sort of intro, markets rise, markets fall, economies do similar things. They are cyclical in many ways. Through the challenges that businesses, especially the businesses that you're talking to on a daily basis at the moment, try and sort of put us into context, the challenges they are facing at the moment and how they're looking to overcome them.
I think it's safe to say that it has been a bit of an unsettling period for all of us, right? And I think this is something that none of us ever expected to see. This is not an environment we are used to. And I think because of that, the first response has been sort of like recalibration. And now we're figuring out, you know, okay, this is how we respond, this is how we react. And that's what we have been seeing in the business space. Yes, the first few weeks were, first few days, let me put it that way, were a bit about like, okay, how do we go from here? Now I'm seeing structured responses. Now I'm seeing, you know, rewiring cash flows, figuring out supply chains. And like Ash already mentioned, community coming together. It's really heartening to see, and this is what we need in this community at this point in time. It is going back to the fundamentals. Let's go back to the core of what makes business work. And yeah, we have to, as people say, you know, this too shall pass. Yeah. You just need to, you know, double down on your conviction on why you chose to start up here.
Exactly, this is what we've been discussing today as well. Like, community matters now more than ever to businesses that have opened here in Dubai. Why do you think that is happening? It's nice to see people showing up for their community restaurants, trying their local brands that have opened and established themselves here in Dubai. Because the thing is, people came here for a dream, and that dream is still going on and it's happening. But now you get to see even restaurants helping each other in this way, right? So what's your take on that? How are people navigating and maneuvering in these times?
So one of the things that we at Inc.Arabia actually started out was like this list of initiatives that we were seeing like businesses do to support other businesses. And in the beginning, it was just like one initiative. And we thought, okay, cool, that's nice. But what has happened over the last week, I would say, that list has been like expanding on a daily basis. Like each day we are adding 2 or 3 initiatives of businesses showing up to support other businesses. And this is, you know, tangible support in so many different ways. You know, it is like Talabat, for instance, you know, opening up its cloud kitchen spaces. Amazing thing that they're doing for so many F&B players out there. There's a startup called Alan, a fintech company that has like literally committed 3 million dirhams for the community. So that's like this, putting it for SMEs to pay their, you know, their due bills, their Seva bills, or whatever it is. But again, these are like initiatives that are saying that we are not in it for just ourselves.
Exactly.
We realize this is an ecosystem that needs to support and collaborate with each other if we are to succeed, if we are to move forward. And again, it's really, really heartening to see.
Sure.
I want to ask you a little bit more about staying open, because just as what we said a little bit earlier on on the show, staying open isn't just about keeping the lights on. There are so many things in and around it. So I wanted to ask you, is staying open less about operations and more about mindset and decision making?
I think it's a lot about mindset at this point, because there is a lot of, shall we say, invisibility around the situation right now. So it is more about adapting in real time and kind of figuring out, okay, what do we do tomorrow, as opposed to, you know, a couple of months back, we were probably thinking like 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead. Now it's probably shorter time frames, but at the same time, it's about adapting to and making decisions quickly and figuring out what works. And if it doesn't work, move on to the next one. We're not, you know, giving those long timelines for testing now. It's more like, let's see what works. Let's focus on the fundamentals. Let's go to our core audience. Let's build our audience and keep our customers happy, because they are the ones that got us here in the first place.
Equally to that end, is there a risk of making sort of knee-jerk reactions, given the sort of, given just the, I suppose, you know, we don't know the sort of end game here. We don't know what, you know, how long it goes on. How long do you plan for it? So how do you make decisions like that in the real time?
So this is the thing, what I was saying about recalibration. You need to take time. Don't make those knee-jerk reactions without thinking, okay, this is a crisis, we need to, I don't know, cut people off for whatever reason it may be. Think about what it means for you in the business in the long term, because short-term thinking is not going to work. And I know, like you rightly mentioned, you don't see the finish line. But at the same time, if you lose the people, for instance, that got you here, how are you going to keep running a business? You need to protect the people that have got you here. Yes, there are discussions you can have. There are hard decisions to be made. But again, have a plan in place. Focus on keeping your business running as opposed to knee-jerk reactions. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking as well, because some people might just rush into taking decisions like cutting salaries, removing a lot of things from menus, but that makes sense because sometimes like a lot of the ingredients might not be available at the moment because a lot of them are shifting to locally produce, which is helping a lot with these things, right? But also, how can a leader in that position make a decision like that? Because some of them might just react on what's happening impulsively, and that can be really wrong. And the people that are working for you right now don't want that. They want reassurance from a leader's perspective. So what is something that you can tell someone in that position in order for them to take better decisions?
Sure. The first thing I would say is communicate. I think we are all in this together. I know it's a cliche, but we are all in this together, and we sincerely don't know, but we are looking to our leaders for kind of support or direction. And maybe you don't have all the answers, but still communicate. Have that two-way conversation. Don't make decisions because that's what's in your head. Talk to your people. They are the ones who are the closest to the customers. They know what they're looking for. Again, I speak purely from a media point of view. Yeah, we have literally overhauled our editorial coverage in the last 2 weeks because we had a plan and everything. We were like, okay, that doesn't count anymore. Let's talk to what our readership wants. And that has been, we have been all about like, yes, how can we keep businesses running, keep businesses open through this time? And that's what we are recalibrating towards.
And because you are the guy who has these conversations with a lot of these decision makers and founders, what would you say is their main concern, and what is the one thing that gives them confidence, light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak?
Yeah, the part about like what they're worried about is, yes, there is no finish line right now, and that's fair. It's not something we have in our control, but looking at the the silver lining, so to speak, is the fact that we are here in the UAE. It is still incredibly safe. There is a, what shall I say, a genuine amount of love and belief in our leadership. There's no question about it. Again, to see someone like His Highness Sheikh Hamdan come and talk to 300 of our business leaders in a majlis during Ramadan, that was amazing to see. That shows that these people have invested in us, that these people want us to succeed. And now it's a matter of like, kind of like returning the favor and paying it forward perhaps.